Thank you. So just by introduction, I'm Adele and I'm from the University of South Africa. I've put on the screen some pictures for those of you who haven't been to the university previously. Our main campus is in Pretoria, which is the top left building and the right building. Our university is quite big. We have about 390,000 students that study at HAISA, and we have 45,000 postgraduate students. So they keep us busy with all the online work and the distance learning. Of those students, we have about 96% of them that are studying part-time at our university. The bottom picture of UNISA with the glass windows on the right-hand side, that's the science campus, and that's where I'm based. It's in Johannesburg, and I'm from the School of Computing in the Information Systems Department, and we are on that campus. I've also just included a picture of Cape Town, which is one of the cities that a lot of us go to during our holiday periods. So this research focuses on trying to obtain an understanding of creativity and innovation to establish a totally aligned information security culture. So in this study, a model is proposed through the lens of the 3 levels of organizational culture. And it's postulated that if one stimulates the creativity and innovation of employees in an organization, that it could help to solve information security problems, where you create a culture where employees are resolving problems. So creativity is critical in our business for success, for growth, resilience, and also to help us manage through change brought on by the 4th Industrial Revolution. So organizations need to be creative in our methods to combat cyber attacks and data breaches, and especially those targeting the human element. Various studies have been conducted where it's been shown that organizational culture is an enabler for creativity and innovation. So in an organization where you have a supportive culture for creativity and innovation, the employees are more equipped to solve problems, and then also security problems and issues that they come across in their daily work. So innovation and creativity then could aid us to combat the cyber attacks and data breaches in organizations. The research question then was, what would a security culture model comprise of, where innovation and creativity are used as enablers? Information security culture, we've had a number of discussions about what the definition is, and that it is visible in our artifacts and becomes the way things are done in an organization. And if we have a strong information security culture, it will enable our employees to exhibit behavior that leads to fewer security incidents and data breaches due to less error and negligent behavior. From a creativity and innovation perspective, creativity is part of the innovation process, and it results after creativity. In an organization, if we want to encourage creativity, organizations can typically focus on 3 areas: expertise, creative thinking skills, and intrinsic task motivation. So if we have these creativity in employees and groups, it will lead to new approaches, new solutions, and problem solving, which will then aid us in building and supporting the information security culture where we are also solving problems. In this research, a scoping literature review was applied with the PRISMA method. The databases searched are listed on the screen, and a total of 18 papers were included in the final list for the review. In terms of the results, initially when the search was conducted, the keywords information security culture with creativity and innovation was used, and only 2 papers were retrieved. These papers showed that increased organizational effectiveness is established if there is a culture of information system security innovation. And if one wanted to create such a culture, one would focus on communication, education, training, and also interested in an artifact creation program. So where individual creativity is focused on, it also helps with solving information security problems and issues, and specifically again then focusing on the task, motivation, domain relevant skills, and creativity relevant processes. The search was then extended to creativity and innovation in an organizational culture context, and there's a lot of research in this context. One of the models that stand out is the model of Martins, which was developed identifying specific factors that influence organizational culture on creativity and innovation. These researchers also developed a quantitative questionnaire which they validated, where one can measure the creativity and innovation in an organization. I've listed on the screen some of the factors that they found influence creativity and innovation. And there are interesting things that are coming out, for example, tolerance of mistakes, taking risks, and additional communication, autonomy, etc. There's also a lot of work that's been done about the competing values framework that focuses, or where one can categorize an organization in one of 4 organizational cultures. This framework has been used a lot. Some of these cultures are more lenient towards creativity and innovation, specifically the clan and adhocracy culture. And yes, as I said, there are a number of studies that use this model when they analyze the impact of creativity and innovation. Some of the studies that were conducted where creativity and innovation were, the influence of it was established. There was a study in Siberia, and they identified the clan culture. Brasilia, and you'll see there's a study that was done, for example, in Zimbabwe, another study in Brazil. And there's some change between which of these 4 cultures are supportive of innovation and creativity. In some contexts, the clan and adhocracy culture comes out, but there's also the rational culture. So it seems to be dependent on the industry, the type of organization, the size of the organization, and maybe also the national culture of those countries in terms of which culture would be conducive to support creativity and innovation. Other studies that were identified were, for example, a study in Pakistan, where they identified 5 constructs that positively correlate with innovation. There was another study in Australia that identified 12 factors, and then also one in Romania where they specifically identified autonomy. So looking at all the results of the competing values study, the work of Martins, these different studies, as well as the 2 papers that focused on information security culture with creativity and innovation, a consolidated view was then created of all these factors to come up with one list of the typical elements that can stimulate creativity and innovation in an organizational culture. You'll see, for example, the artifact programs listed there: diversity, domain relevant skills, trust, etc. These elements were then grouped in organizational traits that can stimulate creativity and innovation. You'll see that in the top left block. And the bottom block, then organizational programs or actions that an organization can focus on to stimulate creativity and innovation. That will then lead in the organization and as part of the employee conduct on a daily basis to applying creativity and innovation in their daily tasks, which then filters through to the information security program. So that block depicts information security on a people, process, and technology level, where creativity is then infiltrated in the way that induction training is done, policies are developed, technical solutions are provided, threat management, risk management, in all those programs and problem solving that the creativity and innovation flows through, which one will then see as an output in the triangle under the espoused values, underlying assumptions, and the artifacts, which are the 3 levels of SHINE's organizational culture. And hopefully then a totally aligned security culture with compliant behavior and minimized security incidents. So the model that was proposed is conceptual. Some of the key traits that were identified that could support creativity and innovation are things like autonomy, teamwork, and trust. and then also the different programs that were identified from the literature. Future research will employ a qualitative research method to validate the model using an expert panel, and then to also test the influence of creativity and innovation on the different types of cultures. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to participate in the expert panel, you're more than welcome to contact me and to then also be part of the expert panel. So thank you, and that then concludes the presentation.